I'm Wendy Thompson, and today I'm talking with the American icon and actor William Shatner, who made Star Trek a household name in television and in movies. His body of works are as an actor in Star Trek and shows like T.J. Hooker, The Practice, Boston Legal, has won him countless reviews, Emmy Awards, and even a Golden Globe Award. Now William Shatner is back with his smash hit, Shatner's World. It's a Broadway show. The show will appear at the Warner Theater here in Washington, D.C. in February. Thank you for coming out to talk to us, Mr. Shatner.
Well, the pleasure is mine because I'm anxious to tell your audience that a wonderful thing is happening at the Warner Theater on February 4th, 8 o'clock. The wonderful thing is this one-man show that I did on Broadway some time ago and toured the United States, recently toured Australia. Now I'm back to do 13 more, of which Washington is one of the cities. And I'm anxious that your audience comes to see this wonderful piece of entertainment that says yes to life and talks about the passions of life. And it's very funny. It's amusing. It'll bring a tear to your eyes at times, and there's a certain amount of sagacity, if you will. But mostly, it's entertaining in a way that I don't think you've seen in a long time.
So you've done so many shows and movies, and you've done that media. So that medium, actually. So what made you want to go to Broadway? Because I saw some of the clips from the show, and it is funny. It is very funny. You're good.
It is funny. It's very funny. I started off in the theater for many years. I was in Shakespeare and theater, and then I went to Broadway, and I did several long-run Broadway shows, and went and did movies. And as time went by, and I closed a Broadway show at the Music Box, and as time went by, people would ask me if I would be in a play, and they were required 6 months. I didn't want to do 6 months, and so as time went by, I thought, well, I guess I'm never going to do Broadway again. Whereupon I got an offer to take this one-man show to the Music Box, and there I was, opening on Broadway, as I thought I never would. So it's an admonition of never say never.
Oh, yes. And in the show, there are moments where you have these, what I call I Love Lucy moments that come from your life. Yeah. How is it that you always end up in situations like that? Is that just the story of your life?
It just seems to be. Maybe it happens to everybody and they don't realize it, that something dramatic just happened. Or maybe it's just happening to me and I'm required to tell them. I mean, things are happening all the time that if I did, I would include a new story of being hugged by a monk seal, or I mean, the various things that happen that like are adventures. And I say to the person next to me, "Do you realize what just happened? There's a whole story there." So I've culled that from aspects of my life, and I've made a show, a 2-hour show out of it. And as you say, people laugh a lot and cry and we have a great time together.
Well, let me ask you this. Where did you get your humor? Because, from Star Trek to T.J. Hooker and serious roles like that, I don't think anyone knew that you were so funny. And my favorite role, I mean, you have so many great roles, but you might not even believe this, but my favorite role is the big giant head in Third Rock.
That's hysterical.
It's hysterical. I mean, you're a comedic genius, I think, because of that. And well, in other roles too. But I just think, where did you get your humor? Was your mother or your father funny?
I don't know. I do know that I look at the world askance. I look at the world. We're all participants in a giant joke, is what the results do. We think we're going to live forever and we're going to die momentarily, and that our life is meaningful where it really isn't, and we have our self-importance and we're not. There's a joke going on that we can only become aware of every so often, because if you live with it, you go insane. And I think that twisted aspect is part of my personality.
So you've done all these things in your life. You're an actor, you're a writer, producer, singer, equestrian. What haven't you done that you want to do?
Well, I've never talked to you about this show.
Thank you. That's awfully nice.
And I've now fulfilled that bucket bucket list. I don't know what I'm going to do next. There's so much. Are you kidding? Life is filled with mystery and enterprise and things to do and things to discover. There isn't enough time, and I'm so sorry about people who feel that life is dull and bored. And I've written books to encourage them not to feel that way and to find ways of doing something else that would make their lives more meaningful to them. But one of the ways is come to the Warner Theater on February 4th and see Shatner's World. It'll encourage you.
Oh, great, great. So let me ask you, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something about Star Trek. Leonard Nimoy recently died, Mr. Spock from Star Trek. What's your fondest memory of you and him together?
He was my dearest friend, and I've written a book which is coming out in a couple of weeks called Leonard, my 50-year friendship with a remarkable man, in which I delineate my friendship with Leonard. It's gotten rave reviews. Kirkus has done a really good number on it. And my thesis is that men have more trouble making friends, the kind of deep friendship we're talking about, than women do. I don't know whether that's cultural or nature or nurture. I'm not sure, but for me at least, the difficulty in making a heartfelt friend. Leonard was that person, and when he died, all the memories and all the sensations of that friendship died with him because I have nobody to validate what it was I did. Do you remember when we talked about, and there's no response because the other person has passed. So I talk about that in the book. I talk about what a wonderful, lovely man he was and how much I miss him every day.
Yes, you guys are just iconic. You're symbols of America in television, our movies. You're just such an iconic couple. So let me ask you this. This is a question I always wanted to ask this of specifically you, because everybody wanted to be you when they grew up. Every child wanted to be Captain Kirk or Mr. Spock. But what did you want to be when you grew up?
I never not wanted to be an actor. I started when I was a really young child. And I did children's plays, and I've never done anything. I've never driven a cab. I've never waited on tables. I've never gotten a check for unemployment. All I've done is do something about making somebody laugh or cry.
And so that's
in my early years, my parents.
So you never wanted to be a policeman, fireman, nothing like that.
No, I wanted to be a pretend policeman.
Okay.
Being a policeman is very dangerous work.
Okay.
The blank bullets are a lot better than the lead ones.
Yes, definitely. So I consider you probably, out of all the celebrities I know, and I know a few, and the non-celebrities I know a lot of people who are not celebrities, but I think you're probably the happiest person I've ever met or known.
Well, picture yourself. I'm an old man, and I feel 30. I've got my health. I've got love around me. I'm doing great work. I'm doing creative work. I'm more creative now than I've ever been, and I anticipate each day, and I can't wait to do something, whether it's ride a horse or tell a joke, and how awful it would be for me to question what it is I'm doing and regret anything, and I'm lucky, and I know how lucky I am, because health, which is the genesis of everything.
Yes.
My health is good, and health is both something that you can take care of, but it's also a matter of luck. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you get a germ, or something worse. So I'm grateful for that singular fact of my health.
Yes. So let me ask you this. This is on a kind of a serious note. So years from now, when you're getting toward the end of your life and your friends are talking about you, what would you want your friends and colleagues, what do you want to hear from them about?
I want them to say, I can't believe he's still alive.
That's a good one. That is a good one. It has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. I look forward to seeing you at the theater.